All right, boys, we got a banging pod for you today. A great one. My buddy Jon Sanborn's coming on. He's going to talk all about SEO marketing. He almost ran up a whole ticket last year just with SEO. So this is going to be really, really good if you want to get in on these internet leads and have an online presence, okay? But before we get into this episode, you already know what it is, baby. It's brought to you by Renovo Financial. So if you want a hard money loan, you're going to hit up Jeremy at Renovo. Everybody I know in this city that's actually making money, they use Jeremy. I promise you that. And if you're looking to do a refi out, you're looking to get a DSCR loan, hit up Jeremy. He'll make it so convenient and easy for you. All right, baby. Happy hunting. Let's get it. Perfect. Dude, Jon, my guy, I'm so happy that you're on the pod.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. It's super cool. I love that with real estate and at least with social media, I have all these people that I'm like friends with.
Yeah.
And like when you actually meet them for the first time,
I know.
It's like, oh my boy.
Pretty exciting, but we already know so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that, man. Heck yeah. I'm super happy that you came on. Bro, all right. So let's go. Hit me with a sauce, bro. Tell me your whole story. I don't know too much about you other than the fact that you crush SEO and you crush internet leads. And I'm just starting to do it and I want to get good at it. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, dove in 2017. Okay. Rentals. It was Burrs. That was the method. It was me, childhood best friend. So 50-50 partners and bought our first Burr. Went pretty well. Partnered with 2 other people. Proof of concept. So that was like 17 and 18.
Okay.
We're going along doing our thing and realized that we're missing this whole opportunity that other people are cashing in on, going direct to seller. So we actually bought a deal from New Western that was on MLS. It was so eye-opening because it was just there. They just took action, offered on the property.
Yeah.
I think it was listed for like 70. I think they got it for 40 and sold it to us for 50. So just seeing their 10K spread, I was like, why aren't we doing this? Like wasting money or just losing out on opportunity to make money.
Okay.
And then opportunity to get first look at the best deals. So
it's true.
Started going direct to seller, cold call and direct mail. That would have been 2019.
Okay. How much were you? How big of an operation did you have?
Very small. You know, it was just him and I, just my partner and I. And interestingly enough, he's actually in Southern California. So he's not even here.
Okay. So the same partner that you were talking about from San Diego, it's the same guy. The whole time? Oh, bro,
same guy the whole
cool.
time. Yeah, so childhood best friends, best man at each other's wedding, went to school every year, we both went to Temple in North Philly. So,
all right. Is that where you? Okay.
Yep. So that's been an interesting, how we're going to work together. So that's kind of why like direct to seller and forming the business around that was kind of helpful because then it was less in-person stuff that he couldn't do, but he was still able to do. So like answer the phones, talk to the cold callers, any of those kind of systems. So anyway, we jumped in 2019, mail and cold call.
Okay, so 2017, you're starting to buy.
Starting to buy.
2019 is when you decided, all right, we're going to go to direct.
Let's go. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
What were you doing before that?
I was an agent, so I also had my license. So just any time we needed funds or money to operate with, use my agent money, and he just had like a kind of 9-to-5 sales kind of job in California.
Okay.
So we both kind of had our separate things, and then we were doing some bursts together. It was a grind, the cold callings. We had 3 callers in house. Had the dialer, had everything, and then also, mail was expensive. Mail was expensive. We weren't making a lot of money. So, it's kind of brutal. I think we broke even in 2019, or we were a little profitable. Maybe we made like 10 grand or something. Did a few deals, and wholesale. Sorry.
Yes.
And successfully marketed to sellers, got under contract, and they were just ones we didn't want to burn, we didn't want to buy.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's just wholesale these, make some money. COVID happens. best thing that happened to us because Alex pretty much lost his job, got furloughed.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, what am I going to do with my time? We already had the website, but it wasn't super built out. It didn't have all the SEO juice that it had now. He was like, let me put my time into our website. Funny enough, we actually heard on a podcast. Do you know David Bachman? Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
He used to be like a pretty big wholesaler in 2016, 17.
Okay. I've heard. I'm
18.
not. I don't know him super well though.
Yeah.
I can't shine any light.
He was really big in SEO. Like he was like the top dog. So we kind of looked up to him and also heard on a podcast how well he was doing in SEO. So it's kind of like, I think we should do this. Cold calling and mail wasn't for us.
Bro, fuck cold calling. Cold calling is so dorky, bro.
It is
for a small shop like y'all.
It's
and
terrible.
Like me, it's so dumb.
It's terrible.
All the gurus tell people like, yo, start doing the cold call. Cold call's so good. It's not. If you want a huge operation,
but
it's a grind.
That will cost. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not cheap like everybody says because you need a huge staff if you want to make it good.
Yes.
And like the cash conversion cycle is so bad.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's bad.
At best, you're getting your money back in 6 months.
Yeah.
My experience. Forget that. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So we felt the same way. Felt the same way. What are we doing? This is like so much work, not very profitable. Alex took it upon himself to like just learn, self-taught himself everything he knows about SEO.
Okay.
So 2020, we're start climbing the ranks in Google. Our website's just taken up. End of 2020, we're finally starting to actually get leads. Very, very end of 2020, we're starting to actually convert leads. And that's pretty much where things legitimately took off. Was once we started ranking number 1, 2 in Google organically, so it's not PPC, for SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a common misconception there, or a lot of people, when we say like, oh, we get all our leads organically online, people immediately are like, oh, you're doing PPC.
Yeah. You do Google Ads. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's the Google Ads we've also tried them. They work. I think that's what you're doing. I would love to hear how your experience has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a whole other conversation
entirely different.
Compared to cold call.
Oh, yeah.
And mail, it's very different.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Yeah, it's going well.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad that it's going well. So how well is it going? What did y'all do in Red Blast?
Very, very good. So yeah, we can get into, kind of some of our exit strategies, but still primarily wholesale, but also picking up a lot of wholesale. So we can get into that tax money that we were just talking about on how we kind of operate. So a lot of wholesale, a lot of wholesale. I think we did like 35 transactions last year just off of our website and generated like $750,000 off of so I think we did a little over 700K, 20K, about 21K a clip, and spent maybe $40,000 or $50,000 on the year for our website.
Wow! Oh my
goodness! Pretty good return.
What is that return? I can't
do
math on top of my head.
I don't know. That's good.
Right, that's a good return.
Yeah,
this very good. I'm looking at 4 or 5 of my money. That's better than 4 or 5 of that for sure.
That's good.
Man,
so it took a lot of work to get there, and every year is a little different. So like this year, we've already put in I think 20K, maybe 15K worth of marketing campaigns around SEO. So every year is a little different. This year we want to put in more just to beef up the website to really, because Google messes with your rankings all the time. It's not a permanent thing. Yeah. So you really have to actually continue to put money in
and stay on top of it.
It's like a full-time job.
So what do you normally rank?
So any of the popular keywords that you'd imagine, sell my house for cash, sell my squatter house, sell my house fast. It's usually between 1 and 3 on Google, and we don't even count there's a national guys in there that they rank here, but they don't actually operate here. Yeah. So people will call them, and then they'll just they either won't answer, or get back to them, or just say hey, we're not buying here. Well, boom, then we are. Yeah.
Yeah, you're number 3 in the thing.
Exactly. So if we're not 1, we're 3, and it all kind of works out anyway. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And is your partner still dealing with is he the one that's still
he's the man. Yeah. So you can outsource, say if you wanted to get into this, you can absolutely outsource it to another company. You don't have to learn yourself. It is helpful, though, if you have at least a basic knowledge and understanding of it.
Yeah.
So then you can obviously talk to your guy doing it for you.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, just having a partner who's just, it's almost like he does a lot of other stuff in our business too, of course.
Yes.
But I barely do anything with that. It's almost like his second full-time job.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely his lane.
And he's obviously super good at it.
And he crushes it. Yeah, he's very good. So it's working out.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm very impressed. And do they 21 a pop?
Yeah, so
the average is good.
Yeah.
It's not great, but
it's not great, but it's not good. I want to get that up. I'm trying to get it up this year.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you, bro.
I know. I need to get that number up.
It's slightly below average.
I know.
You should be doing 25.
I should be.
Bro, what do you mean? You should be doing 25, but it's still...
It's on the dispo side. I know it. Gotta work on the dispo. Yeah. I heard you say today, or maybe earlier, the 3 offer thing. That's a good idea.
You haven't.
That's a super good idea. I'm not doing that.
Everything I do is really good, and I don't and none of it I've ever thought of myself.
I mean, honestly,
I don't think of anything myself.
You could have said that.
The best guy that is. Oh, okay, sure.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll do it. I'll do it. You're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing the 3 offer thing, and it's worked for me very well because I was missing at least a couple grand on every deal for no reason.
That happens.
So it's
you just tell. What do you tell people? Like, I just need to wait, or
I say, oh, cool, I can't accept it until I get 3 offers.
You just literally tell them.
Bro, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yeah,
true. I bleed for this money. You know, I have
good points.
I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
If you have anything to say to me, I'll just never send you a deal.
Good point.
Yeah. Everyone loves it. If you tell them, they'll love it.
All right. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it keeps them honest.
Yeah.
It keeps everybody honest.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
I need 3 offers, or else I won't accept it.
See, that's the problem is if I did that, my spread would probably go up. Yeah.
Well, how many deals a month are you guys doing?
3 or 4. Probably 3 to 4 just on SEO. So it's obviously not a lot. I mean, there's killers out there who do that in a week. But it's also...
with huge teams, though.
Anyway, exactly. It's almost like a lifestyle business. Like, I'm able to then just go away if I want to. I don't have to stress. That's why I almost would rather take a smaller fee and sleep better at night. Because the guys that I'm selling to, I know they're going to close. So I'm not worried about... I hope XYZ buyer actually closes if it's a wholesale.
There is a little bit of extra stress sometimes in exchange for those points.
Exactly. So I try to de-stress my life by just going with those repeat guys that are going to close.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is something, though, that we've transitioned kind of the last couple of years from doing just purely wholesale to more wholesaling. So actually buying the house, cleaning it out, and then just relisting it is a good idea. There's money to be made.
I've got a lot of buddies that are doing a lot of those in comparison to like 1-2 years ago. I'm slowly switching into that a little bit with certain deals.
Same. Yeah. Transfer tax obviously stinks to pay.
Yeah,
especially in Philly. But a lot of times it's worth it. I'll tell you a story. We did one in Upper Darby. Bought the house, cleaned it out. It was actually in pretty decent shape. So we even got cleaners to come in and like scrub the tile down. The bathroom looked pretty messed up before the cleaners. It was just dirty. Like it was dated, but like once it was just cleaned, like actually just scrubbed down, it was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, especially in the suburbs, it doesn't need to be like new and sexy.
Listed it. One of the neighbors bought it because it was online instead of just on my buyer's list, off market, not cleaned out. Bro, we probably made an extra 15, 20 grand. So it was worth putting the effort in to clean it out, clean it, list it, pay the commission, pay the transfer tax, still much more profitable. So something like that. Yeah, something to consider. The other thing too is just like it's easier going into an appointment, boxing other people out, saying like, oh, these guys are gonna go assign your deal. They're not actually the real buyer. You just throw them under the bus.
Yeah.
Just why not? If I know I can actually buy it and my intention is to go actually buy it, I'll just shit on wholesaling as soon as I get there.
Yeah,
not as soon as I get there, but in the conversation, just so they're like, wow, he's so honest, he's so genuine, goes a long way. And then I actually will buy it and do that method, just clean it out, sell it.
Exactly. So man, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. For me, it's very nice knowing that like I don't want to do that. For me personally, I do just want to assign it.
You just want,
to...
Why is that?
Bandwidth.
Yeah.
bandwidth and
Slows you down.
bandwidth and the financial difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes like that is why. But like for me, if I can't make at least 20 grand, like a deal that I could assign for $5,000, those deals are the ones that I'm either flipping or I'm wholesaling. I have it at the perfect, like I have it if I can get it at the perfect price to flip it, not to assign it. Fuck it, then I'll do it, which I know is a little bit backwards, but Mark Morey he did great the past 2 years doing that. I took it from Mark and it's actually worked real well.
Very cool. Okay.
So it just, in order for me to squeeze more juice out of all my deals, I only had the bandwidth similar to you all. Like if I had the bandwidth and like if I only want to do 3-4 deals a month, sometimes like one of those has got to be a flip, even though I don't want it to be.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, there's something to be said about the ease. Like there's a stress, is this buyer going to close, but then it's also, you're not raising the funds. You're not, it's a lot more just quick cash conversion cycle. So I get it. Yeah. And we still, wholesale probably half our deals. So,
which is good.
Yeah.
But the wholesale model, I like, if it's a clean thing, I'm trying to do more.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's good for content too. That's what we're trying to follow in your shoes, beef up our content a little bit this year.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's really big.
It's getting there. The SEO is good. Our YouTube is okay. And Facebook and Instagram is terrible. Man.
All right.
I got to get on that. But buying places will he'll help make more content.
Yeah,
so that'll help in all that. So, a couple reasons.
Dude, it's your online resume. I think
pretty much.
Dude, when you Google my name, I buy so much for all my shit comes up.
Yeah.
And like sellers don't care if you're wholesale. They all know I'm a wholesaler. I bring myself as ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they really don't care.
No.
They just know, oh wow, this person's really bad. Look at all these deals he's doing.
That's true.
This is really true.
They see you're active, which that's like what matters more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
that's a really good point.
They'll see it on top of your SEO. You guys have a bunch of content out there, and they can actually see it with their own eyes. They shouldn't even let you guys do it. It would be fair. What are you talking about?
We'll see. I mean, again, like it's like another full-time thing. How much time do you think you spend on Instagram a day? Like making content.
Making content?
Not just Instagram.
I don't know. Maybe a couple hours a day.
Yeah. See.
Like, not even like that's crazy. Some days like barely anything.
Yeah.
It really depends on the day.
That makes sense.
But like I'm out here making my own stuff, and I'm really trying to grow it. I'm trying to monetize on YouTube and do this whole little stuff. So I actually spend a lot of time, man. I studying like how to do better on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of depends on what you mean as far as working on my content, because like
that makes sense.
I mean, I'm being directly working on my content, but like I have a bunch of probably at least studying how to do better.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you put it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits.
With wholesaling, I'm only doing a deal a week, and it's all inbound leads. So I don't like with my actual real estate business. I'm not putting the most in compare. It's really not a ton of time. But I spent a ton of time becoming this efficient.
Yes.
So
it
wasn't always like that. I have bled and sweat and cried for this.
That is one thing. Also, I'm working on this year is becoming more efficient with my time, because that is one of the things that's like you just can't get back.
No.
And similarly, like same amount of deal flow, 3 to 4 deals a month. Like there are some days where I'm sure you're the same. Like work, you're like, wow, I worked a lot today.
Yeah.
Other days you're just like, I think I mostly pet my cat the majority of the day. I don't think I did anything.
But that's so beautiful.
But it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not cool to work your whole life away. I don't think that's cool at all. I think it's super dorky.
Yeah. I mean, like the Santini's, like, bro, really cool that he's like what he's doing. This is not for me. Yeah. And I just know that, and I'm fine with that.
No, hell yeah, but he still lives his life too.
Yeah.
But not as much as you and I want to live our life.
Yeah. Exactly. Which is fine. It's for everyone.
There's something different for everybody.
Exactly.
A guy like that would be so bored with our life, probably. So
probably.
I understand.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. There's so many different ways to win in this, which I really like.
Absolutely. Yep, completely agree.
I think that a lot.
Yeah.
So So let me ask. So what's your model? So like a lead comes in for the SEO. What do you guys do?
Yeah.
How do you guys handle your leads?
Great question. So even though Alex is in San Diego, it's almost to our benefit in times. So if you think about time zone, if a lead comes in at 8:30, I'm gassed from the day. I don't want to call. It's only 5:30 for Alex. So basically,
it gets to work.
So he'll jump on it. It does benefit us quite a bit. So anyway, a lead will come in. They'll either fill out our form. Well, first they'll have a problem. Okay. Squatter house. So they'll get on Google, type in "sell my squatter house." You'll pop up. They'll scroll right past you, and then they click on my website.
Mine says sponsored.
Yeah. They'll click on our website, and then we have a bunch of legitimate valuable stuff on there, content on there of ways to remove a squatter, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So they're actually getting legitimate value. But then they're really coming there because they don't want that. They want to sell the house.
Yeah, they want to wash their hands.
So they're filling out our form with their contact information or calling us. I would probably say 90% fill out the form, which is better because in that way you still want to get to the call as soon as possible. Yes. However, it's easier to very quickly pull up the public record while you're calling them rather than, receiving the call on the fly kind of thing. So anyway, Alex and I will both get a text and an email. Lead come in. Whoever is available first, we'll call it. We just text each other like, I got this lead. And then it's off to the races. A lot of them are one call closes, like that call.
Oh, really? That's how y'all do it?
We try.
Get out. Tell me more. Like Eric Klein model or like...
I don't know who that is.
Forget it.
Okay.
RJ Bates model or...
Yeah. Like it's the longer it goes where like sometimes, you do need to set that meeting, of course. But like a lot of times by the time someone gets to us, they are ready for the easy button. So that's what we try to be. So it's, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, thank you so much for reaching out. Happy to help you. Just need to get some more information on your property. We'll answer any questions that you have and go from there. So it's much more of like a service-based,
Yes.
They're kind of leaning on us for the help that they need. So a lot of times while we're on the phone, we're just comping it real quick. I'm sure you're similar, but you can a lot of times just tie these up on the call on the first try, on the first go. Oh, wow. Because they're just so ready.
Really?
We'll put a DD on there to make sure to actually get out there.
Of course. But they probably understand it, though.
They understand it because exactly.
It's probably easier to get an inspection period for you than it would be for somebody else who went in person.
So
that's cool.
Get the DD, set the meeting. So now they're already mentally not calling anyone else either because they just signed with you.
Yeah.
So you stop that. And a lot of times, too, we don't have to renegotiate once we get out there. We make sure to buy them at the correct price, which maybe we should. Maybe we should start getting out there and renegotiating a little more to get that spread up a little higher.
Maybe not.
But yeah,
Drew Barney's has a very similar model to you.
Really?
As far as like they do it on the phone a lot of times, and he says to Ziller, like, dude, if you're being honest with me about this, like, what the hell? This is what I could pay.
And it's one of those things too. We don't want to be known as those guys who just get a property under contract and then go out and renegotiate. Like, you don't really want to be known as that, especially with our presence all being online. It'd be so easy for someone to trash us. So, you definitely want to be...
You need to do good business.
Exactly. So, contract a house. And if it's not one call close, we'll obviously set a meeting, go out there, try to get the property under contract as soon as we can out there, And that's usually me going. If I can't go, we'll send, a runner or someone to go get pictures for us. And then from there, it's just your typical dispo process if we're assigning it. Other times, it might be like, hey, this one's worth taking down. Yeah. Let's fund it, clean it out, and then list it. So that's mostly what we've been doing. And then this year we will do some actual fix and flips too. We'll just add that into our repertoire because, again, trying to get the spread up, but not necessarily doing more deals, just looking at the current deals we have. Which ones can. So, like, we bought a nice flip in Conshohocken, nice area. Don't mind driving out there. I live pretty close to there. I'm not driving to North Philly to do a flip. You know what I mean?
No, so it's like that. It's very nice for you. It makes sense.
Yeah, nice price point on the out sale. We'll have a good buyer pool. So, like, just being even more cherry picking our own stuff to then maximize profits. Yep. That's pretty much our model.
To maximize on every lead that comes in.
Yeah. Yep.
And try to squeeze every...
Yeah.
Try to squeeze that towel dry.
And we'll still, of course, get those leads that come in and they want, my realtor said I can get $250 for this. Yeah. But if you want to buy it for $225, no, that's not a discount. Like, no way. So we'll still try to refer those leads out to agents to make money that way on a referral. I have my license, but I'm not
You're not in it for that.
Not in it for that. I'll list our own stuff, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that try to do this business kind of use that as a crutch in a way. And I think it really impairs their actual business itself because they have something
Completely.
that's so easy to go back on.
Yep.
And they end up making a lot less money.
I'm even guilty of that. I'm still even guilty of that. I mean, I'll still have a friend who, like I'm doing one right now. It was like a friend of mine is like, oh, I want to sell my house. It was kind of, I felt weird almost being like, I'm too good for you. Sorry. Let me refer it to someone else. So I still listed his house. I'm not working with buyers, though. That is the worst return on time. Yeah, I'll just refer all those to another agent friend. Yeah, not doing that.
I get that.
Yep.
Yeah, for your deals, are you dispoing them?
Yes.
Yourself? You doing the dispo?
Yep. Yeah. So we have scraped a buyer's list many years ago. Still add to it. People can go on our website, fill out their information to be added to our buyer's list. Honestly, though, we don't.
Same website or just
same website? Yeah, it's just like a join our investors list. No one's ever questioned it.
But why would they?
Fine. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they go, this both got investors. Oh, man.
There we go. Yeah. So why? There's nothing. There's no reason to question it. So we definitely don't blast most of our deals. It's a lot of times pocket buyers, which again maybe be hurting the spread, but it's the ease of sleeping at night, knowing that I know XYZ person's going to close, which means a lot to me.
And also, there is something to be said by having a small group of buyers that if they're all very, very, very good buyers, and for most areas, you're going to know, if you do deals there, you're going to know, you're going to know who the top people are. If the top people pass, it's not a deal, probably. Like,
yep. Yeah.
That's what I have found, at least.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. If you don't sell it to your first 5 people, you might want to start questioning your numbers.
Exactly.
But you also be surprised, too. I mean, there's been times where that's happened. No one's taken the deal. Blasted out.
You get some random motherfucker that
not just one person answer. This must be such a good deal. Wow, this is priced so well. I gotta get in there. Oh yeah.
Sure,
I'm getting blown up. Get in there. So the buyer's list, you can't sleep on it. It definitely.
Okay, it's a really good point.
Yeah, you don't know who's in there lurking in that list that you just don't know.
Yeah.
And they might buy something from you. So.
And sometimes you'll look at a deal and you math it a certain way. Like, bro, this is how this deal works.
Yep.
It works this way. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I know that it works this way.
Yep.
And then everyone tries to beat you up on a price.
Absolutely.
And then you had that one dude who goes, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And looks exactly how it looks at it exactly how you're looking at it.
That's like the Northeast man.
Who's the Northeast man?
Just like in general, like man, like it's like you look at you might run the numbers and you'd be like, this would never make sense as a flip.
Yeah.
This would never make sense as a burr. But XYZ person loves buying in the Northeast.
Yes.
And will buy it.
They're going to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just knowing your numbers.
There's a lot out there in the Northeast. I get what you mean, yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's one thing we're adding in this year is actually texting.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, we're adding in texting to our just kind of repertoire of, we always have like one other thing on the back burner that we like to have, kind of flirt with. So a couple years ago it was PPL.
Okay.
We've always done mail every once in a while, just to kind of spice things up too.
And it's good to do R&D.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to do R&D. You always need to do it.
Keep your pulse on what other marketing channels. So we've actually never done texting. Just started up with a company that does AI texting. So it's a lot of just like a bot. And you kind of let it run loose. I want to let it run loose in the Northeast really bad. That's like the one area of Philly where it's like,
let it run.
Just let it run loose. Yeah.
I love SMS. You're not really supposed to talk about SMS, but like before, now I'm all in it. Now I'm all PPL and
you're all out of it?
I do PPL and I do PPC.
Yeah.
I just started with the PPC. That's what my main focus is now. But before that, I was completely text.
You were texting. Yeah.
I was the text man.
Yep.
And I loved it. Loved it. You guys do real good.
So why'd you get out of it?
PBL way better, for my purposes.
PBL's been better?
PBL has been...
Yeah, it goes less leads, probably.
Bro.
Yeah. It's similar to the SEO leads.
Yeah. How many leads do you need to get a deal?
15, 14.
Okay, yeah.
Not a lot.
So for the same amount of leads you would need to do an SMS deal, you could do 3, 4 internet deals.
Yeah.
at a bigger spread.
Yeah.
See,
I know.
Unless you want to have a big operation with it, and,
Right.
and like a bunch of young bucks.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of people that you want to hire a bunch of sales guys, you need to do that.
Then,
'cause you need to keep them X amount busy. Also,
that's a really good point.
So like everyone I know that has a big shop, they do cool. They do. They spend so much money on inbound marketing, but they also are spending a lot on cold call.
That makes sense because they have the operation. They got to keep the guys busy.
Yes.
Yeah, we really got the texting platform to go after larger assets like warehouses, apartment buildings. That's what we really got it for.
That's cool.
So it's like a larger spreads in there that it won't be running around looking to make 10, 15K.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really why we got it.
That makes
But
a lot
I
of
still,
sense.
if I had to pick a neighborhood that I want to like test it in the residential side, I would go to the
Right.
I
Do
would
some
go-
high equity lists and just like sit back and just see. Like,
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like the SMS. Good for
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad to hear that.
you. Yeah, I had a good experience. But
How's it been with the PPL leads?
bro, I love it.
Do you have a couple of different companies you use or just one?
You know what? I was using two, and I was gonna do a third and try them all out. Screw that. I'm just using one. It's been really good. I've really liked it. It's called like I need to buy around 15 leads to get a deal. Sometimes it'll be a little bit closer to 20.
Yeah.
So like
Similar numbers then.
15 to 20.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
do you-
I'm fine with that. My average spread this past month, I did it really bad with my average spread. It went down.
Okay.
And I was the bottleneck for sure. 90%, 75% me, 25% a title issue.
Okay.
But like
can't control it. Yeah.
that you can't control.
Yeah, it
What can I
happens.
do? But the other problem was me being too horny for a deal twice, and then once,
yeah.
and then once giving a discount to a friend, which I shouldn't have done because he's my friend. I should not have done that
Yeah.
because he would have given me the same amount. So stupid. But
I do it sometimes. Hey, look.
no. I got two kids. It doesn't make any sense. I disagree.
Why'd you do it?
Silliness. Because I thought about it after. Bro, he would have paid me the same as everybody else is
Yeah.
paying me. What am I doing?
Yeah. Silly.
So silly, but it doesn't matter.
Move on.
My average has been 25 doing this. Doing these.
for you.
It's not good for me. Normal for me. That's so normal. It's an average. The average.
Yeah, it's still good.
Great.
Good average. That's a good average, though.
It's a good average, but for inbound leads, it's average based on everyone I've talked to. Great is 30. Average
Okay.
is 25.
Yeah.
That is 20. Under 20 is out of biz. So the
Yeah,
reality.
no, you're right. You're
I
right.
was at 17 this past month.
Okay. And that was a little lower than your norm. Yeah.
Yeah. Good amount low, but normally 25.
That's good.
So
No,
good, good little life, bro.
that's
What
very
the
good.
heck?
Yeah. At 4 of those a month, great little life.
Great little life, great little life, and very very hot, low drama, low stuff. I'm running around more than y'all though, because I'm more appointment based.
Yeah, I think you do go
I have
more
a
appointments. Yeah.
I have a different model than you.
But you got the driver. So when I am going on appointments, I'm not texting. I'm not doing any follow up. It's a time suck.
When I
So,
go on
I guess
appointment,
that's the difference.
it doesn't affect my life in
Right.
a negative way.
Right. You can keep things going. You can get home, be with your kids. Yeah. That's something.
My son, I just bring him with me.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? And like, when my daughter's old enough, I'll just bring her with me.
Yeah.
And then then everything will be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great setup. That's the thing. Is like, do you want more money? Yeah. But do you want a large team and a huge budget? I don't really want it.
No, I think that's so cool that you don't want that.
Yeah.
We're so similar, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I fuck with you.
Yep.
I don't want it's just not worth it to me.
No. Yeah, I agree. I don't want the headache or the stress of keeping someone else fed, of keeping someone else, and then the firing. It's just not for me.
No.
Maybe eventually, but not right now.
And like, I don't know. I don't do all this so that I can go to an office and manage a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Me
exactly.
personally.
Same.
I just don't really want that.
Same.
I don't want to have to like rally the troops and be around the troops and stuff. Like I just
Honestly, I wouldn't even be able to get to the office on time. So
yeah, I'd be the worst. I'd be the worst
terrible.
boss, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be the worst boss.
I'd be the worst boss.
I am the worst boss because like if I have to like remotely you should be able to manage yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Right there with you.
I got other things going on. I can't
Yeah.
maybe see you.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, but
but whatever, that's why you can create your life around the biz. That's why it's so cool.
That's why it's so cool. So what?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you like to do? Do you like to do anything on real estate?
Yeah, I mean, grew up in the Poconos. So Alex and I both are from the Poconos.
Oh, sick.
Yep. So, big in the outdoors, skiing, fishing, hiking, camping, all that stuff. So a lot of times on the weekends, I try to get out of here if I can. And I try to go somewhere and set up. Yeah.
You're full beachable.
Oh, yeah. I went ice fishing this past weekend.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, so we get into some serious stuff.
I dig that. You married?
Yeah, I just got married a couple of years ago. 2 years ago. No kids.
No kids. I like that.
So,
y'all stacking it.
Just stacking it up. Yeah. Living a good life. Yeah.
Now, what does your lady do?
She actually just also took the leap into entrepreneurship. Very excited for her. She had just like a regular desk job at Penn and obviously pretty unfulfilled. So jumped into her physical fitness career. She's a personal trainer. She does a bunch of classes. She actually just got a promotion to be one of the studio managers at one of the studios she works at. Cool. So now she's a manager. So she's doing our thing. We'll probably join forces at some point together in our entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I think that.
So yeah, it's good.
It's a cool little thing, man. I think that. You seem a happy guy, bro.
Yeah, I try to be.
You seem fulfilled.
Yeah, definitely am. But yeah, can always want more. Well, making it happen though.
Yeah, dude, of course you're making it happen.
Yeah.
Let me ask. So what if if for someone like me, like if I want to get my SEO better, right? What do you have any tips for me?
Absolutely. Yeah. So
can you put us on here?
Yeah. I'll give you some juice.
Yeah, give me juice, man. I'm thirsty.
So I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just hire a company that blah blah blah.
But I thought I could just hire a company that
you can, but you need to get educated first. Know what you're talking about because you don't want them taking you for a ride or
if I don't know, they
could just be we don't know. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. One thing is your website age. So if you are creating a brand new website for this, it's kind of like a credit score. The longer you have credit, the higher it's just going to be.
Yeah.
Same thing applies. So a brand new website, Google's not necessarily going to trust right away. They're going to say like, new guy on the block, can't trust him. Because Google is always looking to provide the customers, its viewers, value. So that's what Google's job is to parse through everyone's website to see who's providing the most value. They're going to then get knocked to the top because Google is going to say like, hey, this company is active, legitimate, providing good value. So that's one of the just main things of how to get ranked. So anyway, in that value, you're providing or creating content. So we have a lot of blogs that, again, going back to how to sell a squatter house, what to do if I inherited a hoarder house, all of these kind of keywords and phrases that someone might be searching in Google.
Okay.
Then in those blogs are what are called keywords, targeted keywords. So again, phrases of sell my house fast for cash. Now you don't want to what's called keyword stuff you don't want to just write a blog, sell my house fast, sell my house fast, sell my house fast.
That provides no value.
There's no value, and that's something called it's a black hat. So there's white hat and then there's black hat. That would be doing something shady, we'll say.
Okay.
That's like another way to say it. So you want to provide actual value through content, such as blogs. Then the other thing is backlinks. Again,
I've heard of this. What is it?
Going back to Google, just seeing that you're active, providing value. If you're linking to my website, Google says, we'll say in cahoots, they're working together. And since my website's pretty strong, it would help your website. Mm-hmm. So if you wrote a blog, you could post it on either my website or your website, and then we could backlink to each other. So you do
Google likes this, or
Google does like this.
Oh,
so say if you wrote an article and like Forbes picked it up, well, that's a huge notable brand that would really help your website. So you want to, again, going back to like black hat, you could backlink to all these shady different companies and all these different websites, but you wouldn't want to do that because Google would realize like, oh, this is just a backlink farm. Like, they would flag it, exactly. And they can just tank your site because of that. They would just be like, nope, you're out of here.
All right.
So if you target very good other blogs and websites, other reputable companies, to share backlinks, or you're just backlinking to them, Google likes to see that. And then that's going to help, again, put your ranking.
Who's writing these blogs for y'all?
It was Alex for the longest time. He was legitimately hammering them out, like 2021, like 2020, 21, like multiple a week. And some were longer, some were like humongous, almost like, step by step. This is what you do if you inherit a house. We'll say that. And the other ones are much shorter. Obviously, if times have gone, we've outsourced a lot of them. So just other people on Upwork who are writers. Of course, AI.
You ever use ChatGPT?
ChatGPT, yep. So we're using that a crap ton. And then Alex will get in there and edit it to make it, not detectable that it's AI.
Google doesn't like AI?
It's kind of accepted that it's a thing. But if you can this is like when you really get into the weeds.
Yes, it's what I want to
If you can be opinionated on your blogs. So not just being like, these are the best neighborhoods. No, that'd be opinionated still. Something that would just be like fact, AI could write. Yeah. Or something that might be like your genuine opinion.
It cannot write your genuine.
It can write.
Unless you tell it, this is my opinion, write something about
Exactly.
This.
So if you make the article opinionated in one way or the other, Google can pick that up. And notice that that's a legitimate person writing this, and again, going to help in the rankings. That was something that a couple of years ago that wasn't really a thing. ChatGPT wasn't as popular. Kind of get away with it. Now you have to be really nuanced on, again, not just writing crap valueless stuff. It needs to be like legitimate.
Okay, so blog posts.
So a lot of blogging. That backlink creation. So we've actually hired companies to like take a survey for us, for example. They just made up, we're going to make a survey of like the top trendiest neighborhoods or whatever. And then they did like a legitimate survey. Then they wrote a whole blog for us, posted it. And now it's there. Other people are picking it up. Other companies are picking it up and then backlinking to us. So those are like services that you could pay for to then help create more content, create more backlinks around your website.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a long journey.
It's a long journey.
It's not like PPL where you turn it on.
No, yeah. So, I mean, when we really started putting effort into our website, that was like around COVID 2020. So, like, we'll say April 2020. We weren't really ranking until, like, ranking in, we'll say the 2 or 3 spot in Google till, like, November of 2020. So it took that long just to start ranking, then actually hold those rankings.
And low in the rankings, probably.
Yeah, right. It was just kind of like for certain keywords. It wasn't just like for every...
certain keywords, oh my God, I'm on the first page,
right.
Actually.
Exactly. You're getting pumped if you were just even on the first page. Exactly. So...
But Brett was telling me that your thing, he looked it up, and it's number 1.
And the name helps quite a bit. It's not it's not just like sell cash, fast offer house... Philly, like some bull crap like that.
Like Nick buys houses.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. That's so, like it's your name, it's buys houses, which actually that also helps what you're like. That's something that it's a negative for us is like our website, Brotherly Love Properties. Yeah, you can kind of infer like Brotherly Love Philadelphia, but if you have like in your URL like buys houses or like for cash, that does actually help your rankings too.
Oh, good.
So that's something you have going for you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you saw my website, you'd be mortified. You'd be like, "Oh my goodness!" I literally, like, I know this is bad, but I literally just did a carrot website.
That's fine though. It's fine. It's better to have something than nothing. So if a seller asks you or looks it up, like you have it. How long have you had it for?
You know what? You got it last year.
So it already has a year under its belt.
With doing nothing on it though, up until recently, I've been funneling lead stats, and I never even changed the photo. It was a stock image photo. I've been rocking stock image photo since a month ago. A month ago, I changed it.
That's another thing is get rid of all your stock photos. Put all of your actual, because if you're taking actual pictures on your phone, they're all geotagged. So again, it'll show Google that like you're a real person taking real pictures, and then just put them on your website. So that's just like another little thing, but. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole world, that like, again, a lot of people just pay for, which again, so like if you wanted to do this, find a reputable company.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I can hook you up with like, their name is actually kind of corny. Internet ninja marketers or an internet marketing ninja.
Yeah, super
internet
corny.
marketing ninja. It's super corny, but they're good.
They're good?
They're good. Expensive. Like if you wanted to really, like, we'll call them like, campaigns. Like some months we really don't spend much on our website at all, just the basics.
Yes.
Software, keeping it up. But then other months it's like, okay, let's like do a campaign to now give us another push that we're going to need. Every I don't know how often Google does an algorithm update, but that's when your rankings really shift, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
So it might be right, before or after an algorithm update, it's like, hey, we should do a campaign. So now that we are getting to a point where it's easier to outsource, blog writing, content creation, someone like the internet marketers are pretty good.
Okay. What would I have to spend a month for it to make sense?
Like this most recent campaign we did, I think I mentioned, like, when we first started, we've already spent more this year compared to last year on our website. But again, it's kind of like our baby.
Well, at this point, it makes sense.
It makes sense to just keep dumping in. Yeah. So like, I think we spent like $7,500 with them for, I forget how many backlinks, maybe 7. So pricey. It's definitely hard to, if someone's brand new and starting out, like I would not necessarily start with this, but it's something to work up to. So if you, not only would they help you like make those backlinks, but they would just rip your website apart for the better. They would tell you like, change all your stock photos, do this, do that. So like, it's something, if you're moving in this direction already and going through like, PPL, PPC, this is kind of your next step, it sounds like.
Yes. Well, first I still got to I also got to figure out this PPC.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm not spending.
We never either figured it out either. We never truly figured it out. It was one of those things where you just blow through your budget, get a bunch of crap leads. We got frustrated and said, forget this.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing that. I started this thinking, I'm going to spend the next 6 months getting good at this.
Yeah, we did not even put enough effort into it. It's good that you're at least committing to it and putting effort into it.
Yeah, and I'm not even spending big boy dollars yet until I get all the little kinks out that I want.
Yeah, smart.
And then I'm going to spend big boy dollars.
Good, yeah.
My PPL is for spending the big boy dollars and getting the money now.
Yeah.
I've been investing in PPC, but I should invest in SEO also.
You should. Yeah, you absolutely should.
Like, if I spend a stack a month, would it get me anywhere with this SEO long term? If I spend a stack a month for a year, or do I got to spend 5 a month?
I was going to say, you probably want to up it.
If I'm paying somebody to do it, so I don't learn myself.
Yeah, if you're paying someone to do it, you're going to want to devote at least 1 year of like, this is going to be a heavy year of investing in my website. Then again, it then will vary after that, where some months you're only putting in $1,000, $2,000. For you to pay for a service, like I said, that internet marketing ninjas, whatever their name is, was like $7,500. If you were like full service handing it off, it'd probably even be more. Maybe around there to like 10K, and maybe not necessarily all one time, like not month after month after month. It might just be, 10K now, 2 months from now, 7,500. Like, it'll definitely vary.
Okay.
So it's an investment, absolutely. But then
But that's what this is. We're doing we're doing big boy marketing here. So like,
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How's the PPL going?
I love it. I love it. Changed my life.
Do you just do Philly, or do you do South Jersey?
Bro, for like 2 weeks out of the month, baby, I'm the highest bidder in so many counties.
And then you get your leads and say, good enough, yeah.
I'm working on being a little longer in there, where I'm working on my budget right now, getting it up.
Yep.
But dude, it's going really well. I really like it. I'm when I have my PPL on, I love that. You turn it on.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't have to do my own marketing.
Yep.
That's really cool. I can just focus on doing one thing. That's actually really smart. I really like it a lot. It's made so much sense for me. And I'll tell you what, it has freed up a lot of bandwidth that I don't have to do. That I don't have to do my own marketing.
Yeah.
And I just feel so lasered in.
Yep.
I bid on every county in South Jersey, in Central Jersey, in Southeastern PA. If it's within a mile, if it's within an hour and a half of my house, I'm bidding on the county.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
I'm bidding on the county.
Very good.
A lead comes in. If I ask them 4 questions, if they answer the 4 questions in a way that I like, I book that appointment.
Nice.
And I'm looking at, and I look to always book within the next 2 closest time blocks.
Yep.
I talk to in the morning. I'm looking to set the appointment in the afternoon or the evening.
Absolutely.
But,
Or the next morning. Or the next day.
if I'm calling you in the afternoon, I'm looking to set it
Yeah.
this evening or the next following morning.
Yep.
You get it.
I absolutely get it.
Heavy appointment based. I never talk about price on the phone.
Really?
Or condition on the phone.
Interesting.
Neither are important to me on the phone.
Okay. You're just trying to set that appointment as soon as possible.
If they want to sell within 30 days or less, if they tell me that they do not want to, that they won't list it on the market, I tell everyone you should list this on the market.
Push them away.
For me to do an appointment with you, you need to say, no, Nick, I want you.
Cool.
And I say, okay, sure, if that's really what you want. Do you really want to trade price for speed and convenience? Yes, that's really what I want to do. Okay.
Right.
And you want to sell 30 days or less? All right, cool. If they live there, I ask them if they have anywhere else that they can go.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Do you have a place lined up yet to move?
We also ask that. Yep.
Boom. All right.
When they say yes, music to your ears. You're setting the appointment.
Dude, I'm going to see the appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I asked the first question is, why do you want to sell? And they have to, usually it's got to be a reason that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I booked the appointment, so it takes me like 4 or 5 appointments to get a deal.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if there was one marketing channel that I would dive back into, it would be PPL. It's so similar.
Awesome.
It's so similar to like an organic SEO lead. I mean, people say like, they're. Again, that's why I was curious if you were just with one company or multiple companies.
They're all terrible. Every PPL company is bad and they're good. So like,
it's interesting. Yeah,
if it takes me 15 leads to get a deal, 14 of them were garbage.
Absolutely.
And like, I have friends that harp on those 14, but who cares?
Yeah, if it's working in your budget.
One of them was good.
True.
And like, that's all that matters. If you're only going to get 1 in 15 leads, it's honestly, I would rather those 15. I'd rather spend no time on them.
Mark them no and move on.
Yeah. So like that doesn't actually bother me. I get caught up in that. I think that's just a boogeyman.
That's a great point because that's one thing that we had realized is that some of the quality felt very much like organic SEO. Other ones it just seemed like they were more like a Facebook ad and just being like, oh, I was just seeing what my house was worth, and I was hoping for 500 even though the highest comp is 400, whatever. Yeah. There's plenty of those, but that's a good point.
And they resell a lot of these leads too.
Yeah.
They resell. So a lot of these are garbage leads, but 1 in 15 or 1 in 20 will be gasoline.
Yeah.
It'll be so good. And that's all you need.
Yeah. We actually resell not our leads that we take, but if we rank pretty high in like Pittsburgh.
How's it out?
But we don't want to do any business there, so we just sell them.
You should. That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's just like another way our website is making us money, even though we're not answering the phone. It's just we basically sell them to someone like a PPL provider. So they buy them. They buy them at like a wholesale discount from us. They mark them up to someone in Pittsburgh.
Like me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not like you, but like Anton.
Yeah. Nice. He's crushing.
I know. He
keeps telling me, you got to come out to Pittsburgh. It's
I need to hit him up and ask if he buys PPL leads in Pittsburgh.
He does.
He'd probably buy my leads.
Bro, go to him direct.
I should just sell him, directly to him.
Yeah, he loves him, bro. He's good people. I mess with him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh, I got to wait for now, so we're gonna wrap this up. Do you have any advice you wanna hit these people with before we wrap?
Just go in with confidence. I mean, whether you're experienced or just starting out, I think like just confidence is key in anything that you do. I mean, and then once you do a deal and proof of concept, your confidence just grows and grows and grows. And then kind of like we were talking about earlier, just mindset, just like know that you're worth a good life, and you're worth someone taking a bet on,
Yeah, bro, that's powerful shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. How do they find you? How do they get a hold of you?
brotherlyloveproperties.com.
Any other social media?
Jon Sanborn on Instagram, or Brotherly Love Real Estate on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Facebook. My name Jon Sanborn. Yeah.
There we go. What the heck? He doesn't just wholesale. He buys too. Send him deals.
Send me deals.
All right, everybody. Happy hunting. You're welcome.